Good morning, watch people. Firstly, allow me to apologise for the dressing on the finger of my right hand. I can't help feeling that if I remove it, my finger might fall off. Anyone who watches my videos, and there aren't many of you, will know I'm a big Chris Ward fan. In fact, they recently reached out to me and asked me to review their C63 GMT Sealander, which I duly did. I've owned several of their watches over the years, and at present own two others in addition to this one. It's my belief Christopher Ward offer luxury quality watches at prices most enthusiasts can stretch to. The first of their watches I ever owned was in actual fact a C60 Mark II 43mm version of the watch I'm reviewing today. And if I'd eventually found it too large, I'm sure I would have ended up keeping it. The C60 I'm reviewing today is either a Mark II or a Mark III, I'm not entirely sure, and although this model is still made, it's now the Mark IV, and they have changed the case and a few other bits and pieces as well. Anyway, enough of this waffle, let's get on with the review. And welcome to my unpaid and unsponsored review of the Christopher Ward C60-600 Trident Pro 38mm with the vintage dial. And now there's a mouthful. Let's have a look at the dimensions. Well, this is the 38mm case. The lug width is 20mm, the depth is 13mm, and the lug to lug comes in at 45mm. On this strap it weighs about 93 grams, whilst on an unaltered bracelet it weighs about 150 grams. In my opinion, this is the perfect size for a smaller to average wrist. Here we are, this is the older Christopher Ward packaging. It's reasonably premium, but very generic. Now for those interested, this is my watch of the day. It's the Raven Tracker. It's a 39mm dive watch with a Miyota 9000 series movement in it. And what a lovely watch it is too. Like all Chris Ward divers watches, the crown is excellent. It's well knurled, signed, easy to grip, and it's about 7mm. It operates the movement without issue, and the engagement is buttery smooth. Now the watch has got an extremely impressive water resistance of 600 metres. Yes, I'll say it again, 600 metres. Now whilst it isn't ISO certified, well I don't think it is, I feel confident it will do what you ask of it. In actual fact, if you use this watch to its full ability, your head's going to blow up at least twice before the watch leaks. Inside is the Sellita SW200 Swiss made high beat movement. Although Christopher Ward don't actually state what grade it is. Now to be honest, my only complaint of their watches is they don't always arrive that well regulated, albeit within tolerance. It's a 4 Hz movement that ticks away at 28,800 beats per hour, it hacks and it hand winds. It's got a power reserve of 38 hours, and when regulated correctly, they can be very accurate. When I received this watch, it was running a tad slow, so I regulated it, which is extremely easy with this particular calibre. So let's have a look to see what the time grapher thinks of it. And there we are, it doesn't get much better than that. It's got a 0 beat error, good amplitude, and it's only running a few seconds slow a day. Excellent. It's got a domed sapphire crystal with some AR coating. Now this is the previous case, as the newer versions have the light catcher version. Now whilst the newer case is undoubtedly nicer, this one is no slouch either. The tops of the lugs are polished, whilst the case sides are satin brushed. It's nicely shaped, and this 38mm version fits really well to the back of my wrist. Needless to say, the back screws down and it's engraved with the Christopher Ward Trident logo, as well as having some basic information engraved around the sides. Now the bezel's got a matte ceramic insert, and like all Christopher Ward watches, the action is excellent. There is no backplate, no wobble, but I think the Loom pip at the top sits fractionally to the left. Bezels are something Chris Ward have always done well. Although that said, one man's perfect bezel action is another man's idea of purgatory. Let's have a listen to this one. This particular model has the vintage dial, as the indices are 14'd and the dial is matte black. As you can see, the indices are plain batons and there is a frame date window at the 3 o'clock. Some people really don't like the logo at 9, whilst it's something I actually quite like. Both the indexes and the teardrop hands are filled with what I think is old radium. Now, old radium isn't as bright as C5, but nonetheless it's no slouch. Let's have a look at the loom. Now, this was the strap that it arrived on. The previous owner had put this strap on it and it's virtually brand new. So you can see it's got quick release spring bars. It's a hybrid strap, that's to say it's rubber on the back and nylon on the top with the Christopher Ward logo. In actual fact, although I'm a bracelet sort of guy, this is so nice I'll probably be keeping it on there. Also with the watch is the original bracelet. Now, this did have polished centre links, which was pretty awful, and it was a tad beaten up, but as I say, the watch is 4 years old. I have brushed it now. I think you'll agree it looks quite nice. It's got the very premium Christopher Ward clasp on it, and as you can see, it's got it on the fly. Let me get that right. On the fly micro adjust. It's got a pin and collar system, which some people don't like. I do actually. It takes a little bit longer than screw pins, but it's an extremely secure system. Anyway, that's the bracelet. Let's talk price and value for money. Now, this is a little bit tricky because, as mentioned, this is an older model. A brand new one's going to cost you about £915 on a bracelet. And if you want the additional hybrid strap, that's going to cost you another £55. I don't know how much this particular model was when it was new, but I would imagine it was a few £100s less. Now, I was lucky, and after a little haggling, I picked this one up for £340, which I considered excellent value. A new one certainly isn't cheap, but I challenge anyone to find a better Swiss-made watch for under £1,000. I should also mention, Chris Ward frequently have sales, or you can normally pick up a discount code of some description. Being a 4-year-old watch, it's a bit pointless me discussing QC issues. Although, as previously mentioned, I had bought a few Christopher Ward watches that weren't particularly well regulated. Now, my only dislike was the polished centre links, albeit this is something Christopher Ward have now changed. Other than that, it's a very, very nice watch. It's a great size, it's well constructed, has an excellent movement, top-notch strap and bracelet, and you always know you've got a quality timepiece on your wrist when you've bought one of these. So in summary, over the last few years my tastes have changed, and 8 out of the 10 dive watches I own are actually under 41mm, and even the 2 41mm watches I own actually wear smaller. I believe Christopher Ward probably offer better value for money watches at this price point than any other brand, and they've justifiably earned a great reputation. Now, although my most recent Christopher Ward watch, I somehow suspect it won't be my last. In fact, I've got half an eye open for a Christopher Ward C60-600 at the right price, so let me know if you've got one. So that brings me to the end of this review. As usual, if you'd liked it, please click on the like button, subscribe if you haven't already, leave your comments below, and enjoy the rest of your day.